The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
This morning, welcome back. Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, your station for fresh news, smart talk all day. It's a very exciting day for me. It's Culture Thursday. It's Thursday the 7th of December. You're on the clock with Erin, Greene. In studio with me, I got some farmers market people. I excited because I is farmers market people. But I'm even more excited because the first cold front of the year signals the proper beginning of the Bahamas grow season. And all the farmers market people are excited about that. So we're going to get into that conversation in a moment. I have a couple of live reads and a small thing to talk about. I got guests in the room and we excited. It's going to be a great conversation this morning. So let's start the show with our Sand Dollar on the Clock giveaway. We're giving away sand dollars again. Every week, 6 listeners can win 30 digital Bahamian dollars if they get the correct answer and have a digital wallet. When you call in, give the producer your name and cell number and wallet provider. Include wallet provider and custom name in texts. Download a digital wallet right now because every Tuesday and Thursday you can be a winner. We had a really good week. We got all 6 winners on Tuesday. See, when you live in a hurricane zone, you can't wait for tomorrow. You can't wait for tomorrow. We had a really great show on Tuesday. We got 2 winners for each question, which total 6 for the week. And so to my winners, we should be transferring those funds to you today. Thank you for playing. And we're going to keep the opportunity to win sand dollars alive into the holiday season. Why? Because Sand Dollar Holiday Rebates is here. Sand Dollar Holiday Rebates are back. Get up to $100 back this holiday season when you spend Sand Dollars, the digital Bahamian dollar, at selected merchants. If you're in Nassau, you can present your Sand Dollar enabled digital wallet and receipts to Team Sand Dollar at the Sand Dollar Rebate booth located inside Omni at the mall at Marathon. Each receipt must have a total of $50 or more. Additional rules and restrictions may apply. Visit sanddollar.bs/merchant list for a list of merchants. Good morning. I want to title this small segment of the show, You Are What You Eat. You are what you eat. Today is Thursday. On Tuesday, I had a wild experience on the road. I want you all to know that I have exercised major restraint in keeping my road stories to myself on the airwaves. I've been bottling them up. I have enough to have a whole season of episodes of stories on the road. But I want to tell you all this quick story. I think it's of national importance. On Tuesday, making my way east from the Guardian, I go up Meeting Street to get to Blue Hill Road. I wait for my light to turn green because we know it's still not legal to turn left on red any in University Commons. So I stop until my light's green. Wait till my light turns green. I hit the road. I'm going north on Blue Hill Road. I'm approaching C.R. Walker's Corner. I'm in the left lane. I always enter in the left lane and then put on my turn signal to move into the right lane the way that you're supposed to do it. See, I'm practicing. It may not matter to y'all here in the Bahamas because y'all don't have my insurance agent. But when I go abroad, I want to make sure that I'm doing the right things on other people them road. So I practice. I'm approaching Cumberland. In fact, I'm approaching C.R. Walker Corner. A Jeep guide pulls out of the corner in front of me. I'm not concerned because they were at the stop sign. The vehicle behind them, a group of tourists driving their own Jeep, pull out immediately behind their guide. They don't stop at the stop sign. I'm quickly approaching. The Jeep behind that Jeep, so the third vehicle in the quote-unquote convoy, decides they are also going to run out across the stop sign. And the vehicle immediately behind them all ignore the stop sign and pull out onto the road across the lane. It's not into their immediate lane, into the lane closer to Grey Cliff on that side. So I said, wow, it's tourists. They must not have visited. Like, when you all take these tourists out on these guided Jeep tours, drive them by PMH. All through the compound. Drive them there first. Start the trip there. So I blew my horn. Why do I blow my horn? In case you had a lapse of judgment or attention and you did not see me, I'm going to blow my horn to alert you to the fact that you are driving into oncoming traffic. What did the tourists do? They blew their horns back at me and cussed at me. Why? Because I'm not going to PMH to die. You want to experience that? That's on y'all. I thought they put that in the guide before you started the vehicle. That's fine. So I drive up now because there's a red light at Cumberland, and the guide now, the lead car, is asking me if I'm attempting, was I blowing my horn because I'm attempting to get into the left lane? And I told him, no, I'm blowing my horn because I'm attempting to get your attention and ask you, why is it that you're allowing the people under your care to break the most basic traffic controls? The handsome young man explained to me that he is in a convoy, and he is allowed to do that in a convoy. What I would like to know is who has authorized these tourist actors to ignore basic traffic controls and create their own? This is not the first incident I've had with a tour group driving in a convoy and ignoring basic controls like. I am certain you have not been authorized to do that. I'm also certain that you are not aware of the amount of professional insurance that your employer had to secure to be able not only to operate this enterprise, but to hire you in particular to operate it for them on their behalf. I'm not sure that calling police stations works anymore. And so I brought my concern to the airwaves. See, I kept my personal story to myself about how I was driving over Okra Hill on Monday afternoon, trying to get to Bay Street, when an oversized commercial vehicle blocked the road. And what did I do? Like a good Bahamian driver, I kept my little small car safely where it's supposed to be, waiting for him to clear the road so I could continue going. The car behind me, though, another extremely handsome but stupid young man, pulls his car up to overtake me, and I say, hey, put my hand out, slow down, there's an obstruction ahead. He then cusses at me and says, Miss, expletive, you could have turned your car left. So I turned my head because, see, I'm in a class right now. I'm trying to get to grandma mode. But I don't have any grandchildren, so the class is very hard. And I smiled at him and I said, that's okay because I'm going straight. That's why I didn't turn left. The young man continued to cuss. And as the road cleared and I started to drive off, he pulled his car in front of me like he going to stop my car. So I pulled my pepper spray. And I paused because I know that's a serious thing that I said. And when I pulled my pepper spray and I smiled at him, because that's what Grammys do. When the terror is coming, Grammys smile at you. Children, beware. This is your lesson for the day. And he started rummaging around his waist and his seat as if he was trying to find something to show me. So I smiled at him and I said, do you have a gun? Can we see it? Would you like to show it to all of us? And as he got infuriated, and I could see that his hands were clearly not on the wheel, I hit gas and drove and continued about my business like I supposed to do, because the only reason we were stopped is because there was a massive obstruction ahead of us. That's a part of the reason why we having this little segment today called You Are What You Eat. Because I'm very concerned about what you all are eating. Because evidenced in your behavior is that what you're eating is not agreeing with your body or your brain. Some of y'all eating too much chicken. You cluck, cluck, juck, juck out of any corner, anytime. You have no reflex control. Can't control your neck, your mouth, your tongue, your hands. Then some of us are eating too much beef, too much pork. We lumber around as if we can't control our own weight. What we eat is evidenced in what we're doing. And what we're doing ain't making any sense. So, as opposed to running on a bit more about wonderful adventures on the road, I brought some people in studio today who have committed themselves to creating an environment where people could eat what is best for them. Now, I'm no expert except on what is best for me, and I know is the best thing for my body. Why? Because produce, things produced from the ground, from the earth, from the plants, have great nutrient value. But that nutrient value decreases quickly and tremendously, exponentially over time. So the nutrient value in a cucumber, a head of broccoli, a bag of lettuce, could decrease by 50% over the course of 7 days. Here we are in a country with, I think, a $4 billion total agriculture bill. $1 billion of that may be directly to food, agricultural food-based products. And how long do we think it takes for that produce to get from where it was harvested to your plate? And how much of the nutrient value is lost on that journey? Now, we're not talking conspiracy theory. We're not talking real practical food politics. Now, when I say that, what I mean is we're not delving into that. We're not delving into why the imported food has such low nutrient value. What we do know is the best nutrient value is available to you with what is harvested locally where you live. And so I've got some farmers market people in the studio with me, some vendors, some organizers. We're talking about one of the newest farmers markets that has established itself on the island of New Providence. We're going to talk about some other farmers markets. And then we're going to talk about you, Eleuthera. You thought I wasn't going to talk about you, Eleuthera. I see Business Expo over Jollification weekend. That's why I wasn't there. I had to be at Jollification. I live in Nassau. They say that's the rules. I heard you all had a wonderful time. But I wonder to what extent people realize how much of the local produce they eat in New Providence is harvested from family islands and how much of it comes from North Eleuthera. And another question on the table is, how will our eating practices shift in New Providence as development surges in North Eleuthera and they develop greater markets for the produce that they are growing on that island? Us New Providence people who think we special and we fancy, we have some negotiating to do with our family island brothers and sisters. But so let's get the show started. Sorry about that. Somebody calling me now to ask me about sugar apple. Did you all know sugar apple on the ground? Just FYI. Had one last night.
Thank you.
Okay, let me ask my guests to introduce themselves, tell us which farmers market they are. Let's get this show started. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Erin. And also, I have my vendor here. She's better known as the GOAT. Chantel Ferguson, and hopefully some more vendors would be on their way. But I'm just saying I'm very happy to be here, Erin, to explain to our listeners that farmers market is in the East. You would be surprised to know how many people don't even know we're in the East. Nassau East is where it's at every second Saturday. And this Saturday, the 9th of December, would be the last farmers market for the year. Yes, we are taking a rest, but we're ready to go for the new year. So don't think that we're not going to be around. We're going to be around for a long time. Yes, the whole organization of the Eastern Farmers Market was brought about by our MP, Zane Lightburn. He saw the vision, and along with persons in the constituency, the farmers market emerged, and we were supported by two organizations, BOPCO and BAIC. So that is when we started. We started April 1st of this year, and we've been going ever since. And we are delighted to say that we have quite a broad selection of vendors. And we are concerned in the East, of course, but we also invite persons from the West. We invite everyone to our farmers market. There's no pull. You call us.
Constituency
Yes, it's
initiative.
a constituency initiative. You call us, and you will get a tent with a table and 2 chairs at a rate of 50. We keep the rate very low. And you're ready and set to go with your produce, or if you're in the art or handicraft. We also take you. We're looking for honey producers right now, which we are scarce of. And we're looking for some more good old home Bahamian cooking. You know, we're looking for some of those vendors as well.
To provide cooked food at the market.
Yes, Bahamian, of course.
Yeah.
And we are looking for persons who have produce. We have a consignment at the farmers market in the community unit section of the farmers market, where you could actually bring your produce, and it's on consignment. You have to let us know your price.
Hold on.
Go on. Yeah.
Community unit
Yes.
section.
That's right.
That manages a consignment program.
Yes.
So when I adopt a grandchild, I can say, Johnny, I done pick on shit last night.
Yes.
We bag him up. Now I need you to take him to the market. Go look for Miss Mary.
That's
Miss
right.
Mary expecting you. Right? Now,
Yes.
now if Miss Mary talking under $2, pack my piece up and come back home. But otherwise, right? Like, I'm
Yes.
waiting to send that. That's an awesome
Yes.
development within the farmers market space.
Yes. And what's made from the community farm section goes towards the community development. And yes, we do have a farm, and it is located up through Twynham. It's not hard to find. And
that's off Prince Charles East.
That's the farmers market. Yes.
Okay.
And the farm is up to Twynham, so you go further down.
Now,
where-
pause.
Yes.
Can I go to the farm directly and purchase?
No.
Don't tell
All
me where it
purchases
is
at
yet.
the market. Yeah.
Don't tell me where it is yet then, because we
Okay.
still have an issue with this thing called predial larceny. And they call it that so you be scared of the law, predial larceny. That means agricultural theft. Y'all like to thief things. Now, I know that typically people thief because they're hungry. We get that. But farms you a different opportunity. Farming offers you an opportunity to trade and to barter and to bargain
Yes.
and to work for. So what you thieving, you may not need to thief. You may be able to strike up a bargain or a deal with the farmer, right?
Yes.
So we're not going to tell people where the farm is,
Okay.
but if you are interested in volunteering for the
Yes.
farm, participating in the management or operation of the farm,
Thank you.
or purchasing and selling on consignment for the farm, maybe you have a business where you could set up a small space on your counter for these things, come to the farmers market this Saturday,
Yes.
speak to the organizers,
Yes.
and arrange a meeting.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Not a problem. Remember, this is the last one for the year.
Okay.
You do have the opportunity over your holiday to decide on how you wish to basically sell your goods. You could get your own stall, or you could do it on consignment.
Now, go on.
Also, right now we are taking on vendors, and today is Thursday, so this would be the last day. And anyone who wishes may call.
Swing that mic over to our friend here. There you go. And you grab that one. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Anyone who wishes may call. The number is 828-1738 and ask for Miss Pratt. She does all of the bookings for the store.
1728 or 1738?
828-1738.
Awesome. Awesome. This is great. See, earlier this year, I was fortunate enough to be nominated in the Community Farm Award section of the Agrarian Awards. I was shocked. I know plenty of people were shocked. They're like, how Erin Greene get up in here? I ain't never seen Erin Greene wrestle a pig in my life. And first of all, I think you have to wrestle a pig before you could be nominated for an Agrarian Award. Mr. Goat, you could wrestle a goat. Step up you, I know you could wrestle a pig. Right? So, but I realized there are many different types of actors in the farming space, right? At the farmers market as well, there are many different types of vendors that you're going to meet there. Some are farmers selling direct from their farm. Some are simply middlemen. They buy and they resell. Some are producers. They take produce, they add value to it, and they make. And so we're going to take this call, and then we're going to speak to one of our vendors at the newest farmers market, Pondy Island, Yamacraw Farmers Market. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Miss Greene.
Morning, Sparky. How you do?
And you right on my topic, other than you know me, is between farming and junkanoo.
Yeah, but listen, do you all have a farmers market out your side?
But let me tell you something I'm just about to tell you. I've been trying since Mr. Pinland was in power to try and get grants for farmland. Finally, the day before election, I got 2 acres off Gladstone Road. The problem is now the government access roads to the farming area that they gave myself and many, many other up-and-coming farmers, whether be young or old. But now I got the opportunity. I got 2 acres to start. Getting to the property is very, very difficult unless you got your own tractor. Not a car, not a truck. You need a tractor. So now the government is with the Ministry of Agriculture and Works. They are starting to cut the access road. It's been going on from November 2021. They haven't completed it yet, but they started. The thing is now, my property, they've given me 2 acres. I have sent my people down there from Dozer Tractor to start my land. He's completed ripping and walking back and everything. 2 acres of land has been cleared. My problem, Miss Greene, is now me getting to the land, the access road. Now when they start the access road, to get from the access road onto my property, it's like a ditch, so I got to get the tractor man down there again.
Come fill the ditch in.
Fill in this ditch.
Now, before you fill in the ditch, Sparky, you need to determine whether that ditch could be an advantage to you and whether what you need to fill in a crossing point over the ditch.
Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm on the same wavelength with you. The crossing point from the access road onto my property will be like maybe a 3-car width road, filled in, packed down, because also on that land, we're not allowed to build any permanent residence on the property.
Right.
Because it is leased land.
And
but a friend of mine has authorized, he's told me he would donate 1 or 2 of those 40-foot containers. You know, they'd be on the back of the big trucks would come from the ships. He would give me 2 of them to put on the land. One I could use maybe to turn into like a little residence for...
No, you can't say that, Sparky. No, you can't say that because see, okay, that's a great point.
It's not permanent.
Listen, Sparky, I give you 30 seconds, and then...
But let me try and get it, because this is farming we talk about. Let me try to feed the country.
I got you, Sparky. And it feeds right into the conversation that we're having. Because one of the things I want to talk about is not the high cost of local produce, but solutions to balancing the cost of local produce. And how do we support both the growers and the producers in maximizing without gouging the prices? What you're talking about, Sparky, is one of the biggest factors in the cost of local produce. And it's recouping the initial infrastructural costs of the farm. And a lot of farmers who are not commercial farmers with major investors have a great difficulty moving through the first 3 to 5 years of farm life because they're spending their profit paying back infrastructural costs. One of the things we could talk about, Sparky, is a bank, maybe a local-owned bank like Bank of the Bahamas, a Commonwealth Bank, but a bank maybe that partners with BAIC to produce a loan package where the rates may be the same as a typical package, but the payback period is adjusted because it understands the operation of an agricultural entity, right? The second thing is, are farmers using the landscape available to them to their advantage? In 2008, Martha Stewart was quoted in an article saying that the best tomatoes that she had ever had up to that point were from the Bahamas, from a farmer by the name of Teresa Kemp. With a farm on the road, you know, I don't want to say it because predial larceny and agricultural theft is a real thing. The best tomatoes. When I visited her farm, showed us, and what we realized, we know it, we don't believe it, we know it. She was using the natural aspects of the landscape to her advantage. She was growing water-based greens in naturally made ponds on her land where the water collected naturally. She picked a bok choy for me that was so big you could wrap a baby in it off the side a piece of craggy rock, right? And so the second point, Sparky, that I want to thank you for raising is that we can be more innovative with the resources we have available to us to be able to produce. I see you got another call coming in, and then we're going to get to... See, I take it long because the goat, whenever I see the goat, the first word out of my mouth is challenge. This is a vendor that I love to see in the market. Anytime I see her and I see her new product, I get inspired to make a new product. And I love that level of camaraderie. Let's go to this caller, and then we're going to speak directly to the goat. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Ms. Greene.
Morning, 52. How you do?
I'm all right. And good morning to your guest. See the lady name you call us now, Teresa Kemp.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why the Kemp, that's his daughter, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I at the time in the 80s, mid-80s, late 80s, I was working in the Resource International in cost control and the receiving department.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can verify that because they used to buy tomatoes from her.
Mm-hmm.
I think she did some husbandry too. I think goat, sheep, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I was proud. She really high quality products she put out. But as it relates to the farming industry, right, Erin?
Mm-hmm.
I realize that some fruits respond better to cloning, but for some reason, I have difficulty in cloning citrus.
Mm-hmm.
You make a clipping of an existing tree. You would try to do it when it's bearing, so that the cloned plant would just next year produce a fruit, however small it is.
Yeah.
So for me, I've seen in some instances in which cloning is actually better than mossing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the only way I've learned. But people are much older than me, and they've done much more observations than I. Right?
Yeah.
And so maybe, and you gave this idea about putting the fruit trees in the schools. Why haven't they adopted that idea? But I wanted to voice note you on something. But the thing is, I want to clear up something about something I said on the radio. See, the thing is, the person made a comment. I had a problem with that. It was kind of the pedagogy and all that. But the thing is, that's not on me. You said that the truth is not enough, right? But the truth is enough because I expressing myself, then I would leave a legacy of truth. The burden shouldn't be on me to bring out the truth to the public, but rather the pundits. So you get what I'm saying? So
without a doubt, 52. I understand you, and that's the point I meant, that we have to come together.
I want to clarify something. I'm not an intellectual. I'm a thinker. So the person who said that borderline intellectual, 52 is a rasta. He rides a bicycle. The fact that I can articulate myself, it doesn't make me better than anybody else. They don't know me. I'm a very humble person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I ride a bicycle. I don't comb my hair, and I don't really care what people think. I here to put out the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The truth is a weapon, as George always say, now. The truth will get you in problems in years to come. And so 1984 is now. So disclosing the truth to the masses is all they can do. Nothing else. They don't have to listen. I'm hoping that people like you would listen to what I'm saying
and pick it up,
look at the relevant books, and then express the truth to the masses.
Yes,
Until then,
sir.
we're just wallowing. Give thanks, yeah.
Absolutely, 52. Man, I agree with you. When I say the truth is not enough, what I mean is that we have to stand, bring the truth forth. We have to support that. Some of us are here to bring the truth up to the surface, and then there are those of us whose job it is to raise it up above the horizon, and then there are those of us whose job it is to document the truth of this moment. And so what I really was saying, 52, is not an admonition on you, but on us, the wider community, for not stepping in and doing our part. There's lessons in everything. It's our job to use our eyes that God gave us to be able to see those lessons and pull them out for benefit and value. Thank you so much, 52. And I appreciate your point. And I know what you were referencing. And yes, we do have to challenge that statement that you could never have too much inoculations. It's far more nuanced than that. Nobody mad at you, 52. Nobody mad at you. Now, somebody I am mad at is the GOAT, because they didn't bring any samples with them this morning. If you're familiar with the vendor, the GOAT, one of their, I would say cutting edge, one of the leading products in the market is that they've taken a Bahamian treat and they've mixed it with a Bahamian staple, and they've created something that nobody else have in the market. Good morning, madam. Please introduce yourself and then tell the audience what you think I'm talking about.
Good morning, Bahamas. First of all, I'd like to thank Miss Smith for inviting me, also Miss Greene for having me here. I'm a bit nervous, so don't judge me. But she's talking about my goat pepper treats, where I've taken the traditional Bahamian Benny, coconut and peanut cake, and added a little gourmet twist on it with some goat pepper. So that's a pretty popular product that I carry.
Absolutely. And see, for us, watch this, for us in the Bahamas, right? I watch these people in the lower Caribbean putting hot sauce and chili pepper. I say to myself, well, why would you do that? That don't make no sense. There, CARICOM, ignore this part of the show. That don't make no sense to me. I don't want to get banned from traveling south. But then, see, I realize, for instance, our mangoes are different from other mangoes in the region because of our limestone content. Our mangoes are naturally sweet and tangy. So we don't need to put the lime and the chili pepper and thing on the mango. But that's not what you're doing. Goat pepper is a Bahamian staple, and the goat pepper flavor is distinct and it's noticeable, and you can tell in the little treats, you can taste both the spice and the flavor of the goat pepper infused in the treats. That's almost as good as my coconut tart caramel popcorn, miss.
Almost? Yeah, you're talking to the goat here. So the goat got to be better, greatest of all time.
Challenge. Tell the audience a couple of your value-added products and why you make value-added products.
Well, basically, I got started in this whole thing, like I tell people, during the pandemic, but not because of the pandemic. I basically always wanted to do a little something of my own where I, have a little extra income in my pockets, and I got to depend on my husband, so that's why I wanted to do something of my own. And the whole thing got started when I was making, I normally do, like I think all Bahamians, we try to preserve our peppers. So we have some sort of little mixture or something that we would put in, mix our peppers to preserve them. So there was a little pepper sauce thing that I did. I thought nothing about it. And then one day I did some stew fish and some boiled fish, and I sent some over to my brother, and I gave him a little thing. And he called me, he's like, boy, because that's how we talk to each other. He's like, boy, where you get that sauce from? Boy, that bad. So he said, boy, you need to market that. So I was like, man, everybody and their uncle or cousin doing pepper sauce. Yeah, so I said, I'm not really interested in marketing it, So, but then based on him saying that, I got the thought where I was like, I had a few goat peppers left in my freezer, and I was like, okay, let me try something different and new, because, again, like I said, if you call yourself the goat, you got to come full force. You can't come half-stepping, So I was like, okay, let me see what else I could come up with to set myself separate and apart from everybody who's just doing just goat pepper sauce, right? So I actually came up with a goat pepper powder. And when I tried it, it was like phenomenal, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is the money maker right here." So that was my one product that I basically started with, and everything else just spanned off from there. So the Go Pepper powder is one of my best sellers, along with, guess what, the lime and pepper seasoning. So no longer.
The best kept secret in New Providence. I mean, outside of my lime and goat pepper infused salt. See, we challenge, but I tell you what I love about it, right? Here's the difference. A goat pepper and lime salt is a fine finishing salt. My goat pepper and lime salt is a more coarse cooking salt. See, we could be in competition without being in competition. We could be in competition without copying each other. And even when we copy each other, we could infuse it with our own flavor. So let's talk pepper products, because I tell you why. This year was not a good year for peppers.
I'm dying now trying to find peppers.
Whitefly hit the peppers.
Wow.
And I wonder if people know why whitefly hit the peppers. I have a suspicion, and I can say it now. We had an extremely windy year. Whitefly and hot. Whiteflies are fruit-bearing trees. And it will drop. So if you're planting under a fruit-bearing tree for shade, that whitefly can drop onto your fruit-bearing tree or plant, and it'll infect it. Because of the high winds, even if you weren't growing near or under a batch of fruit-bearing trees, you probably got hit with white fly. So we got dearth. We have a lack, a great shortage of local hot peppers in the market this year. Let's talk. Now, I'm not on the science side. To deal with whitefly, we typically use a bit of neem and water and spray the leaves and wipe them down. Every day, you got to go out, you got to treat the leaves every day. And then what you do as your companion action, you're looking for the trees that have the best, the hardiest trees, the ones who survive best in the whitefly, and those are the trees that you're going to propagate for your next season. You may call the rest a bust. You may figure out if you could make an extraction paste with the pepper leaves, because home remedy, if you have an ingrown hair for men, you can take the pepper leaves, mash them up into a poultice so they get wet and sticky, and then put that on the ingrown spot. Tape it there overnight. You may want to mix it with a little castor oil. Put it there overnight, and that'll draw out the ingrown hair, right? So you could still do something with the pepper leaves. Yeah. And so if y'all don't mind entertaining me a bit, let's talk all things pepper. Let's talk all the pepper products we know that you could make with local peppers. Because in fact, your first product was a pepper product. My first product was a pepper product. I was selling lionfish tacos.
Oh, I remember those.
And we're getting winter time. There's a big time for lionfish. When it's closed, you could replace your grouper with lionfish. That's a big time for me. And one of the most handsomest fishermen, looked just like a merman, look at me and my friend and say, ladies, y'all don't want to come on the boat and keep us warm in the winter, hey. It's your national duty. I says, but no, as a human rights advocate. So he said, no. My Grammy said no, just right off the bat, no, and we ran away. We came back the next, that's what you do, ladies. That's what you do, run away. If they see you still looking at them, they think they have a chance, run away. Anyway, we said, you know what? And this was 2013, where there was a glut of peppers in Produce Exchange, locally produced. We infused the peppers in rum, and we made a rum shot. And we went back to the fishermen and we said, listen, if you on that boat in the winter and this don't keep you warm, you already in Davy Jones' locker. You just don't know it yet. And we started from there. And then the goat, I see you're on your phone looking up your recipes, the goat. So I can start the list of pepper things that I've seen in the market so we could see what's already being made. People could understand why they need to diversify. Right? Because we could all sell pepper things. In fact, we could be the home of pepper. We don't need to be Grenada and Dominica, the Spice Islands, but we could be the Pepper Islands, right? Pepper jelly. Served with cream cheese and crackers, served with dinner, with meats. You next, the goat.
Yes, I have a friend that actually does the pepper jelly, wild pepper jelly, and people love her pepper jelly. There's so many things that you can use that on. I can't even speak of all this because the list is very very long. But for me, in terms of with the goat pepper, I wanted people, and well, so much behemoths in the first instance to understand the diversity of the goat pepper, and not so much that you can. It's only we just look at it as for heat, but because of the flavor, I wanted people to see how diversified it can be and the many things that you can use it for. So in my product lined up, I have from oils to seasonings and spices, and like Miss Greene said, even candy. So and that's not all, because there's so many things in my mind that I wanna bring to life. It's like I can't sleep at night because I'm so excited about all the products and ideas and things that I want to do with the goat pepper.
I know a vendor that makes a spiced fruit pancake and waffle syrup.
Interesting.
In multiple flavors, right? And the list goes on. Pepper in alcoholic beverages. I make a specialty in with sugar for margarita rims, for margarita glasses.
I've been trying to get them to use my lime and pepper seasoning for that same thing too, but they don't want to take up my challenge.
Well, they missing out on something.
I know, right?
The goat. We must need to have a pepper festival.
Yes.
So we could bring them in and they could see the joys.
Exactly.
Even my friend, Mr. C.A. Nuri, who may or may not be having a birthday today, is sell pepper jelly and pepper sauce.
A jerk sauce too.
I don't want to call it a jerk sauce because that would be to limit it.
True.
Because you think that just because he have Jamaican descent and it's a Jamaican recipe that's over 100 years old, that it's a jerk sauce.
Yeah.
But I use that to season my mushrooms when I'm making vegan chicken tenders.
I basically get offended when people speak of my business as just hot sauce and stuff like that. And I'm like, no. My business is called the Goat Bahamian Made Goat Pepper Products. So which means anything that you can fathom that it's probably going to be under my product lined up.
Absolutely. And that's important for vendors. Let's sort of take a segue here. Producer, I don't know if it's time for some Junkanoo. For vendors, I think vendors... we're stuck in an old school Bahamian tourism model, which is you looking pretty and smiling, and they will come up and they will buy. But the problem is, when we fast forward 50 years from independence, there are far more vendors in the market than normal. And the consumer culture has shifted also. And a lot of vendors are missing out on sales because they're not shifting their vendor culture. When we get back from the break, we're going to talk tips for vendors because, the GOAT, you said something very powerful there. Vendors, you have to be constantly telling the world what it is you do. Don't let them tell you what you do. You tell them what it is you bring into their lives. We're going to a break, and when we get back from the break, more tips for vendors and farmers farmers markets customers. Like, first tip, you got to be at the market 7 a.m. That's right. That's all it is. Sun don't sleep, neither do we. We'll be right back. You're on the clock with Erin Greene. We're talking Farmers Market on this Culture Thursday. Stay tuned, 96.9 FM.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day.
You had a tune and Gretzy.
We need to start joking about everything, This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
You know I's a real man, but I never blow no whistle. I be drunk all my life in Junkanoo.
No, boy. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower, and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
But ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you, and your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Loss of family members is very isolating, and people who have experienced loss appreciate when others have shared their grief. If you can't be there in person, go to the Nassau Guardian's website online at thenassauguardian.com and visit our obituary link. The Nassau Guardian's interactive obituary link allows you to read the funeral announcement, express condolences, or place photos on the online guest book for 1 full year. Losing a loved one is painful, but that pain isn't the worst thing to happen. Friends, loved ones, colleagues, and neighbors who ignore the loss compound the pain. Should the bereaved family wish to place the obituary and photos on our obituary site, just contact the Guardian's funeral industry partners or the Nassau Guardian. Remember, there isn't one magic right thing to say to someone experiencing loss that will make the loss less painful or easier to bear. The Nassau Guardian's obituary link, available online at thenassauguardian.com.
Is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Good morning and welcome back to On the Clock with Erin Greene. As we close out the show, my guests, give the audience your names again.
Chantel T. Ferguson, owner of The Goat, and not The Goat as in the animal, but The Goat as in all goat pepper products. Bahamian made goat pepper products.
Absolutely.
Bridget Smith, co-chair of the Farmers Market, Nassau East Yamacraw.
Hold on, producer. Check that mic for me. Say it again.
Bridget Smith, co-chair of the Farmers Market, Nassau East Yamacraw.
And to my right is Mr. C.A. Nuri, producer of, which was producer, besides heartache and gas for me in the morning.
I was going to say I produce children. But I'm not sure if that's the answer you're looking for.
No, that is not the correct answer for the trivia today, sir.
No. Okay, good. I got that wrong then.
Yeah.
But I said,
And pepper sauce.
okay, and pepper sauce. I do have the sauce.
That's what the young people looking
No
for.
ketchup, just sauce.
The sauce. It's a mustard that you taste the sauce. So we're closing out our conversation about farmers markets. In the last few minutes, I just wanted to talk to vendors quickly about how to bring the price down. We have a problem in the market. Local produce is overpriced. How do I say it's overpriced? Well, local produce is what poor people in their own country eat. It's what they could afford to eat. But our agricultural model is sort of on its head. And so it's important for me as an advocate and as a vendor to support other vendors in bringing their prices down. Now, you may say, but Erin, just compete with better prices. And I want to say it doesn't work like that. A market, farmers market is an environment, it's an ecosystem. And there has to be balance in the ecosystem. I may have the best prices on all the products that people want, but people don't want my product every week. They don't need to buy my products every week. I don't expect them to buy my products every week, but I want them to make the farmers market a regular trip in their week. It's like going to church. You go to the farmers market on Saturday morning to see what's available, and you go to church on Sunday morning because you know what's available, right? If a customer comes to a market and has a bad experience with one back to the market ever again, if they leave the market with a sour feeling, they may never come back to that market again. So as a vendor, I have a loss leader. I have something that I could give to customers for free if I think they're leaving this market space having had a sour or a bad experience, in an attempt to shift their attitude about the market and say, well, let's wait coming back again, you know. I didn't like those prices, but man, that lemonade was nice. I may buy a cup of that next time I come. right? So that's a part of this sort of vendor training. You are not an individual business person in a brick and mortar establishment where you set the rules yourself. We have to ensure that customers have a good experience. And a part of that is they may not buy on that trip, but they are looking at the prices. They're looking at what's available. They're looking at how it's sold. They want information. Give them information. They shouldn't have to pay for information. That's how you build a relationship with the customer. And that customer may be you. They may support all the other vendors at the market, but you never know how many customers they've sent to you because they know people who want exactly what you have. So that's a big part of a farmer's market ecosystem, is that customers have to leave feeling enriched, even if it's only with information. So have information you could give away for free. Know about your product. Know about the produce.
Oh, yeah.
Know what carrots are good for. Do y'all know what carrots are good for? Let me tell y'all what carrots are good for. Carrots are good for the eyes.
Excellent.
Carrots are good for removing unwanted salt from your dishes. If you feel like your stew fish gonna be over salty, you put a couple carrots in. And then you pull the carrots out before you serve the stew fish. Please and thank you, chefs. Because you all see the chef put the carrot in the pot and you don't know why the chef put the carrot in the pot. And when you start making the pot, you just leave the carrot in. The carrot is to soak up the excess salt. Tell your customers that.
That's true.
They may buy more carrots. The goat. What's your latest product on the market?
Well, my latest product on the market is called the Mother's Sprint Glaze. And the name speaks for
You
itself.
see my face, Mr. Nuri, right? Because every time I see the goat is challenged. You call it again?
The Mother's Sick Tasty Tamarind Glaze.
And it's spicy, right?
Yes, it's spicy and
So
sweet.
I tell you, I make a tamarind coconut tart where I cut my coconut mixture in half before, right? I cut it in half and I make the tamarind sauce and don't add no sugar. And I take half the coconut mixture and I put the unsweetened tamarind sauce in that. And then I layer my tart with plain coconut and tamarind coconut, plain coconut and tamarind coconut. And you just trying to make it better by putting the spicy tamarind sauce on it.
Well, of
to
course.
go challenge.
Well, of course.
Every time I see you, it's a challenge. Ma'am, tell the people the time and the dates for the next farmers market.
Yes, 8 a.m. This Saturday is the last Saturday until the new year. Located Nassau East South Park. Make sure you get there on time because our produce go fast.
Any
we
tomatoes?
also have a special. Tomatoes would be there, Tyrannus. And we also have a special on strawberries. We got some strawberry crowns in, and we're going to be supplying those strawberries during the cool season. So we're looking for you. Come out.
Yes, absolutely.
Hi, and before we go, I'd like to send a shout out to our Millionaires crew. We're always a part of the farmers market from conception. They would have loved to be here, but they couldn't make it today. So I'd like to send a shout out to Angie's Delightful Teas.
Because you didn't want to challenge Angie's, I was waiting to see you.
And also Monifa Ungjangle Jewelry. She sells sand jewelry. She likes to say if you can't walk in the sand, you can wear the sand. And we have Tracy from Wild Pepper Jellies. We also have Craving a Cookie, and we have Essentially Yours candles, the best natural smelling candles that you can ever buy.
Listen, go on, ma'am.
I don't want to leave out our other vendors. Craven Cookies, I think we've already mentioned that. Andrew's Crab Farm, Mr. Smith. Corn Roasters coming on this Saturday. And Justin Taylor, Nature's Way Farms.
What?
With his produce.
The meat man.
Yes, mutton, chicken, and fresh eggs from him, and much, much more. We're having some pastries. Delights would be providing those pastries and lots of food. So come on out. Join us. Actually, we got a free little lunch for the vendors who come out
look
this
how I
way.
can pretend
So
to be a vendor.
we want to see you too, Erin, because you're a vendor.
Yes,
you
ma'am.
need to be there.
Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me this morning. This has been an awesome time. Whenever I see the goat, it's a challenge. Vendors, Bahamians, we don't have to copy each other to be in competition. Let's challenge each other.
Yes.
So we could produce the best of ourselves. You guys have a great day. Guardian Radio AM with C.A. Nuri is up next. Miss Nuri, it's like they give me goat pepper this morning.
I want some free glazed pepper. That's what I'm looking for.
Woo! Sounds great.
Awesome.
Imagine that going this Christmas because
Oh,
you
yes.
can't buy a whole turkey.
What? You throwing that cranberry sauce away?
Glaze your whole turkey with the
Glaze it.
tamarind sauce,
Oh, yeah.
please. You guys have a great day. We got to get out of here.
Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, producer. Thank you, audience, for tuning in. And Sparky, thank you. Those were two great ideas to jump off from. Wonderful contributions. Thank you so much. Have a great day, Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.